record, same old songs of accusation play. Like who are you to speak the truth? Just look at all your failures and mistakes. And if they really knew you, there's no way they could love you anyway. Oh, but I will fight the lies with the truth. Oh, keep my
Hi, welcome to episode 2 of the Send Help podcast, a lifeline for moms who are stuck in the trenches of mommyhood, bringing them encouragement through Jesus, laughter, and sisterhood.
Sisterhood.
Right?
Yes.
In the motherhood.
In the motherhood.
How you doing, Amanda?
I'm good.
You're
Um
I'm good. It's fine. It's fine.
I tell you what. We've been having some dumpster fire days.
Those are the best days.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. But you know, I feel like I am leaning in a lot more with the Lord because of the dumpster fire days.
Right. Well, you have to lean away from the fire so it doesn't
It is true.
burn you, or you go through the fire for him to refine you.
But it's in a dumpster.
It's in a dumpster.
So,
So
yeah.
maybe not.
It's got some stank on it.
Yeah. But you can walk through it without smelling like the stank. If he
Okay.
leads you through it.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true. But this has not been, I mean, maybe it has. Maybe it's been refiner's fire. I mean, the Lord has been talking to me a lot about refiner's fire, but I don't envision it in a dumpster.
No.
Let me give you an example. I have my precious 6-year-old Josh.
Yes, I love him.
Yes. You're his
He is precious. I am. I'm his fairy godmother.
Yes. He knows you as his fairy godmother. I love that. Anyway, we've been walking through it. Okay, this is a really good example. Josh got glasses.
Mm-hmm.
We found out that he was blind as a bat. Poor baby has been living his life without being able to
Aw.
see anything. I laugh, but it's really sad, and I cried a lot about it. Anyway, we had to take him to a specialist for his eyes.
Yeah.
Because the first time that we had his eyes checked, the prescription that they got was so horrible. I mean, it was so out there. It was the beginning of the year. I'm not going to tell you where we went, but if you knew, you'd be like, "Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I've heard
I know where
stories."
you went.
Anyway, I took him back. Like Tim took him to that during the beginning of the year when he had his first eye exam.
Right.
My husband Tim, you know my husband. He's
I
behind
do.
you.
I
He's
do
behind
know
you right
him.
now.
Hey, Tim. Got a solid wave there.
He's waving. Yes. He's our sound engineer. Thank you, Lord, that we have
Right.
somebody that knows what they're doing. Anyway, so Tim took him to his first eye appointment, and when I took him to go pick up the glasses, they were so crazy.
Oh,
And so I marched back there
right.
and demanded to see another optometrist.
Yeah.
Because I was like, these are not right. These are not right. And they really were off. Like they were. My precious baby has severe ADHD, as you know.
Yes.
We have walked through the fire with him, and it is just the beginning because he just graduated kindergarten yesterday. So we have so many more years of this to go. Anyway, we wait for the optometrist to come out, and he's very ticked that I'm second guessing.
Oh, he's one of those doctors.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. He's talking to me like I don't know what I'm talking about. I am watching him give Josh the eye exam, and every time he's giving Josh permission not to know what he's looking at, but Josh is not even looking at the board. He's looking at the
You kinda
wall
have to do that.
or the ceiling, And I'm like, he's not even looking. So I'm holding his head because poor baby, it's the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Like he's done.
He is so fried. He's been at school. He's done. Done. And this guy, and we kind of feel like there's some markers for dyslexia. So like on top of that, I'm asking, can you just show him 1 or 2 letters at a time? Because some of the time he's reading them, but he's reading them completely backwards. And the doctor's like, yeah, he can't see it. He can't see it. So he tells me that I don't know what Josh needs. He tells me that I
Do not say that to
have,
a mom.
Yeah, that I've let him go through his life without being able to see, and that he can't see. But my child loves like the Modern Art Museum,
Right.
and he can he can see something and then draw it down to the last detail,
right,
on a wall far away. So at this point, his little brain has been compensating for, that's what the specialist told us this last time that we went. Anyway, long story short, we demand our money back. I mean, I'm not a person that like majorly I'm not a big confrontation person when it comes to like doctors and specialists and everything. I'm just like, okay, I know that you're coming from a good place, but this dude got in my face.
Oh no.
And I am telling you right now that, at this point, I have fought so hard for Josh.
You have.
I have fought the system.
Yes.
I have fought for diagnoses. And I'm just like, don't tell me that I don't know what my child needs. That's why we're here.
Right.
Yeah. So, I got flustered, ran out of the house, ran out of there, like cried, called Tim. I was like, we have to get our money back. I don't want to deal with these people again. I never want to go in again. Period. Anyway, that was the beginning of the year. Our dumpster fire day. It seems that every time we do anything with Josh's eyes, it's a dumpster fire day. Like Tim had taken off work. I'd taken off work. Needed to be there with him because I didn't trust how it went the first time.
Right.
We waited months to get this appointment with this super specialist for pediatric ophthalmology. She's an optometrist. And like it was amazing. Like Josh had a great like they dilated his eyes big time. He really paid attention. She gave him one letter at a time. It was great. That part was great.
Yeah.
She did tell me, she was like, yeah, it's real bad.
Oh,
It's real bad. But she told me that his little brain has been compensating for it. So it's not as bad as it feels like it is. Like you feel like you're a horrible mother.
Right.
So I'm already walking out of there like, we have to get him glasses today. We need to get him glasses today.
Because she's told you that it's horrible. Yeah.
So we go to the little boutique that's next to hers that's connected with her. Our eye insurance doesn't cover it. So we find glasses that he loves. We look it up. We go to like 3 different places. End up at we end up at Lens Crafters, and we're just telling the story of what has happened.
How horrible it's been.
Yeah. And we just like settled on a pair of glasses. I was like, I don't even care. Like, this is not what we came in for. But we didn't get to get him that day. So we're trying to salvage the day. Josh is spent. This has been like his appointment.
And his eyes are dilated.
Yeah. His appointment was at 8:30. I thought we would have him back at school like after lunch. His lunch is at 10:45.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's an early lunch.
Yeah. It's crazy early. But so it's now almost 2:00. I had this vision of like earlier in the day when I was thinking, oh, well, his eyes are dilated, so we can't go back to school. And I was like, we'll go to the zoo as a family. We'll go pet the stingrays. We'll see the new exhibit.
Right.
Oh gosh. It was, I'm in tears at this point. Like we did go through Chick-fil-A at one point for lunch.
That makes everything better.
They gave
A
us an
little
extra
bit.
sandwich, and so
Oh.
I felt like the Lord wanted us to give it to a Marine. I don't know why. So I went into a
Because they like
recruiting.
chicken.
I went into a Marine recruiting office to hand off this chicken sandwich. It was crazy. I mean, like the
You felt very
weirdest
strongly about this.
day. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had one guy in mind because I had seen him walk by and I was like, that's who I need. But I couldn't find him.
Oh.
So I ended up just giving it to a hungry Marine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Anyway. We go to the zoo. It's horrible. It's hot. Josh is done. His eyes are dilated.
Right.
He won't pet the stingray. I'm trying
He
to talk
wouldn't
to
pet
him.
the stingray?
No, and I'm sitting here going, "You're letting fear control you." And I'm just like, "What is my problem? Why can't I just let this go?" We've spent like $12 to get into the stingray exhibit, and we're just like, "Josh,
I spent money on
put
this.
your
Don't
hand
let fear
in
control
the
you.
water." Yeah, exactly. I started to realize because he was talking about how he was afraid of things, and I know that he's not. Like he was saying that he's afraid of heights. He's not afraid of heights. He has a ladder bed,
Right.
you know. But he's like, and he's talking about your daughter. He's like, Avery's afraid of heights, and I don't even know if that's
She
true.
is. She definitely is. Yeah.
Avery's afraid of heights, so I'm afraid of heights. I'm like, no, you don't need to. Wow, this is going in a different direction than I thought it was going to go. So maybe somebody needs to hear this.
Yeah.
You don't need to say that you're afraid of something when you're not.
Right.
Just to be like your friends. And I started like the Lord like hit me instantly. Like I was like, wow, how often have I done that?
Yeah.
I minimize where I am with the Lord. I minimize myself and the power that He's put on me and in
What
me
you're capable of,
in
the
order
abilities
to
that He's given you.
be like everyone that I'm
Right.
surrounded by. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, this is a big teaching moment. So Tim and I both like kind of attacked it from both sides. And so that's why the fear thing was such a big deal to me. Because I was
Yeah.
like, we're not going to walk in fear. You know, it was so crazy. Oh, but like dumpster fire day. But the Lord was glorified in it. Like I have been going through this realization that I don't go to the Lord first.
I think a lot of like good
Yeah.
Christian women.
Yeah. I don't go to
Could
the
say
Lord
that.
first. Like I'll call Tim 1st
Mhm.
and I will like rant to him about what's happening and what's going on and ask for prayer.
Right.
Or Marco Polo you, like Marco Polo, man, that's how this
Right.
whole thing started was Marco Polo
Yeah.
because of how we would Marco Polo each other and the other person would end up encouraging. And it was like, I needed that right in that moment. But the truth is, a lot of those times I wasn't going to the Lord first. And that's what I've got to do in
Right.
order to get through this season that we're in right now. It is a big, huge freaking season.
It's a huge season. Yeah.
Like, let me just tell you where I am right now. Right now,
Tell me what's going on, Amanda.
what's going on with you, Amanda? Well, for one, we're starting a podcast.
Right. Ain't no thing.
And we're not just starting a podcast, like we're really seeking the Lord on it. And we're
We
stepping into something that we have talked about for 13 years,
Mhm.
but haven't moved on. And here we are. We're
Right.
doing it. But it has taken so much, like
Yes.
spiritually, physically,
Yes.
like I'm exhausted. I've never been this tired in my life. And I mean,
Right.
I've had some crazy seasons, you know, from my pregnancy, which was 9 months of left-sided bed rest, a lot of it in the hospital, just trying to have Josh
Right.
and hold on to my own life at the same
Right.
time. Like I'm still more tired now than I was then.
Oh yeah.
Like so tired.
Yeah.
Tim and I joined the prayer team at church. which is another spiritual step.
It is.
You know, and like taking on some leadership
Taking on some
in that.
leadership
Yeah.
and spiritual authority
We're
over
on
other
the
people.
I'm on the worship team. I'm helping lead worship for this amazing women's conference that's coming up the weekend that we launch.
Right.
We will be
We
at
will be at the conference.
the
I know
Am
I get to
Hopeful
go
conference. Yes. But that's crazy.
with you. Yeah.
Because that's stepping way out for me.
It is stepping way out for you.
Way out.
You have participated in worship, but you have never stepped out and led. I'm
I've
really
led
excited.
one song. I've never led.
I am so super crazy proud and excited about this thing for you.
Thank you. I'm really excited too. By the way, I mean, like, a little
By the way,
side note, Tim and I said yes
BT-dubs.
to go on a mission trip to Kenya in August.
side note, we're going to leave the country for a while and spread the gospel.
Which is something that we've talked about. Like, I've had Kenya on my heart since I was 12.
You really have.
I
remember
have
you
always
talking
talked about
about it,
Kenya,
yes.
like always. And then Tim and I went to Africa before I met Tim, like right before I met Tim on a mission trip because I was a missionary with YWAM. Dude, that's crazy. It's crazy that was so long ago.
Like all of that talk and there are so many things coming to fruition.
Yeah.
Like now.
I know.
Now.
Like while I was in Africa the first time I went to South Africa on a mission trip, the Lord told me that I was going to come back with my husband. And I was like, oh, okay. That's exciting. But like I've always dreamt of it. Like we kind of feel like we're going to end up there with Josh too. But Kenya specifically has been a place, a moment. Like it's something that we wanted to do. And Tim and I have been talking about it our whole marriage and before our marriage. Like this was where we were going. And that's been 10 years and it's happening. But we've committed to all of these things. We have no idea. Like everything is going wrong. Like the car is shutting down. We're having to spend the money that we saved on.
You feel like
that.
your life is a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Like I am going, how am I going to get through this season?
Right.
And summer. Hello. Summer. Summer is here. It is upon us. Today was Josh's first official day of summer.
Yes.
My husband is now working on Saturdays, so that was fun. I'm trying to really prepare for all of this and like get myself where I'm supposed to be with the Lord. And things are not easy with my precious little son.
Right.
He's a lot. And he's been sick. And last weekend or weekend before last, he was really sick and we were home for 4 days, nursing the sickness. I'm still got a little scratch in my throat and I'm sorry for the sniffles. And if I start coughing, please forgive me. But we were driving back from the doctor going to get a prescription filled. And I just got hit with this overwhelming panic.
Right?
Like imprisoned panic feel.
He doesn't go to school anymore.
Right.
What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do?
I mean, it's only been 1 year that he's been in school all week, but I've taken on a job.
Yeah.
I work 3 days a week as a swim instructor. So that's not really a take your kid to work day. Like,
right.
I mean, I'm going to have to this summer, and that's been on my heart. Like, I'm going to have him with me at least 1 day a week, possibly 2 days a week if I can't find somebody to watch him. It's so stressful. It stresses me out.
You have a lot.
Max.
You have a lot going on right now, like all hitting you at the same time.
But like, I was just like, what am I going to do, Lord? How am I going to walk this out? Like, what is this summer going to look like? Like, I'm a Pinterest pinner, but I don't ever, like, I haven't followed through with something that I've pinned on Pinterest other than recipes.
Right.
And since Josh was like 1.
They all look messy.
Yeah, he's so into art. Like, I just don't even know what I'm going to do. And I started panicking. Like, I was having a panic attack. Like, what am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. But the Lord has been like, while he was sick, Josh wanted to cuddle, and when he's sick or he's tired, he likes to cuddle.
Aw,
And he wanted
those are
me to
precious
just,
moments.
yeah, he wanted me to caress his face. And so I'm looking into his eyes and just holding him and caressing his face. And I was just like, oh my gosh. The Lord was like, this is what this summer is supposed to be. Like, this is, don't freak out.
Aw,
Like,
take the moment.
yeah. He's like, this is the time to reassociate yourself with your kid, and like get to know him again and get to know his heart and like discover him again. And like, I'm not even exaggerating. In this moment, my son is looking into my eyes.
Oh,
He can be the sweetest, most precious.
He can. I have experienced it.
Ugh.
Yes.
And then the next minute he's,
I have experienced
kicking
it.
the dog. But he looks into my eyes and he goes, Mommy, I see heaven in your eyes.
Oh.
And I'm just like, Joshua, oh my gosh. I'm like, he was like, am I an angel? Do you see angels in my eyes? It's like, yes, baby, I see. You're my angel. You're definitely my angel. And I was just like, okay, Lord, okay.
Yes.
And he totally shifted my perspective on the summer. And during all of this, like back in October, the Lord gave me a vision. And I feel like he was giving it to me to prepare me for this season, but I didn't do any of the preparation. Like, I kind of did it, but I didn't really do it. He gave me a vision. Because like when I worship, I go to like the place, like my happy place with the Lord in my head. Especially if I'm on platform and I'm trying to fight against any anxiety that's coming up. Like, I will go to where I feel the Lord the most in my head, and that's usually the ocean. And lately, I have been really, like, this is where I am right now, is that I am hitting my knees a lot.
Right.
I'm just putting on worship, and I am like, I have no words, and I'm just like, lay it all on the floor, like hit my knees, hit my face, worship songs playing over me. Don't even have words for,
The
3
weight
songs
of what you're feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Lifting it off. Yeah. And
Yeah.
laying it down.
And worship is the only way for me to get it out. I mean, really, it is my heart.
It's a huge part of who you are.
It is. And, like, the Lord has been trying to talk to me about this. I even shared it with the worship team after he showed me this vision.
Right.
Of me surfing, which is fun because I don't surf. But I've really researched it a lot because I like
to imagine myself surfing.
I want to be a surfer so bad. But I mean, if you saw me, you know that that's not possible at this moment.
It's not possible for me either.
But
it would be hilarious to watch.
Yeah. But like, I saw myself on a surfboard, and I'm trying to get through these giant waves because I know that if I could get on the other side of the wave, I could go and be with the Lord in my happy place. Like, sit on I imagine myself sitting on a surfboard and just like, chilling. I just said chilling instead of chilling. That's fun.
Let's enunciate properly.
But just to sit there and be peaceful and be surrounded and be in it. Like, that's where I wanted to be, and I couldn't get there. And the Lord showed me a surfing maneuver called duck dive. And
so you're not a surfer though. Did you know what it was before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of one of those surfing. Like, I'm a closet surfing nerd.
Right.
Like, I used to watch surfing. Like, if surfing competitions are on TV, I'll watch them.
Mm-hmm.
I like to watch surfing documentaries and movies about it. I don't think anybody knows that.
I didn't, and I've known you for A long time.
Anyway, yeah, a long time. Yes. Tim's like, I didn't know that either.
He's married to you.
I know. Anyways, so duck dive is when a giant wave is coming at you, or tumultuous waves, right, are coming at you. You push the board down and you dive under the wave instead of trying to go through it or over it. Because if you try and go through it or over it, you will get thrashed. Surfing term.
Right.
Um,
Get thrashed, man.
Anyway, so like I was like, whoa, that's so major. That is so where I am right now. Is like, oh Lord. So I mean, I went to the point where I even saved it. I saved a picture of a girl duck diving under a wave as my screensaver, everything. I looked it up. I looked up the definition and how the maneuver. I've watched videos on it. I mean,
You did some serious
I did
research.
some serious research. And the Lord was just like, you've got to duck dive. And what does that really mean? It means to dive head first and get low. Like you have to lay down on your board and you have to push the board under the wave. And you have to stay down long enough.
Right.
To not come up in the mid-wave.
In the middle of it.
Right. And
I would die if I did that.
What I'm having to do right now. And the Lord's just like, Amanda, hello. This is the giant wave. And the thing about duck diving and surfing
Your summer is the giant wave.
Yeah, you have to condition your body so that there's muscle memory so that you stay under long enough. And because if you don't hit the wave at the right moment and you don't go, you're just going to get pushed back to the shore.
Right.
Which is so apt. You're just going to go backwards instead of going forwards. And that's what God's called you to, is he's called you to duck dive under this wave, under this crazy giant wave that's coming at you. You've got to go under it so that you can get on the other side so you can ride it.
Right.
Because that's what his ultimate goal is for you to be able to ride on top of this season and go where he wants you to go to get through it. And that's where God has me at this moment. I have just been, it's like I get to a place where it's just the wave is upon me. And I realized that I haven't been practicing. So now we're here. We're here. Right. He's been telling me about it since October, but I didn't listen.
Now it's time.
Now we're here, and I it's gonna be painful, and it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna be hard, and I'm gonna get thrashed a couple times, but we're gonna get through it because he's brought me to this wave. And I've been hanging out at the shore just watching him. And now it's time to go.
Yeah.
It's time to go through it. And I just want to encourage you guys that if you're in this place and you're just watching the waves and you're not going into it and you're not moving forward, then you're moving backwards or you're being stagnant. And he has so much for you on the other side of this wave or on top of the wave.
Right. And
I mean, I know that I'm getting very literal into the wave stuff now, but I don't know. I feel like there's somebody that's got to identify with that.
Yeah. There are so many metaphors and songs about the waves.
Yeah.
And, God lead me into the deep waters. Let me step out of the boat.
Yeah.
And the waves crashing around me. And I mean, there are so many, I could go on and on and on about the metaphors about the waves crashing around us. And I think that is a really great thing of you know what? Sometimes we always pray God, keep my head above the water.
Yeah.
Keep my head above the water. Don't let me drown in this water. But I think you're right. I think sometimes we have to
go
dive in. We have to go through it.
You have to get low. Like, and I love that it's what's fun. I mean, funny fact is on a short board, it's a duck dive maneuver. But if you have a long board, it's called a turtle roll. So you, I don't want a turtle roll. I do not want to do that.
That sounds scary.
It sounds really hard.
Like duck diving into the wave sounds like, oh, cute, like a little duck. The water's just going to slide off the tail at the end. But like turtle roll is like, no, turtles don't seem as graceful and clever.
No.
And although they ride the current.
That's true.
Really well.
That's true.
In Finding Nemo, and I would think that would be accurate of real turtles. I had to watch
both Finding Nemo and Finding Dory today with Josh.
That's not too bad of a day.
No, it's not. But I want to encourage you to get low, to lay down and to dive in. And for me, that's literally getting on my face in worship.
Yeah.
Literally.
You know, I don't know why, but a lot of things that we talk about remind me of Narnia and all of the Narnia movies. Mm-hmm. And do you remember at the end when the mouse, what is the mouse's name? Oh my goodness. Reepicheep. And like he sails.
Oh, he's walking into the
and he walks into the wave.
Yeah.
To go to
the promised land.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Aslan's what this country is making me think of.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I just I wrote this down. Like most of the time I look at myself in the mirror and I do not feel worthy.
Right.
I think
most of us feel that way.
I feel pretty worthless, especially when I look at myself as a mom. I'm like, I am ruining my child. Same. I feel worthless. And then I look at Josh and I see what God's entrusted me with. And I look into his eyes and I see the purpose that I have in this moment. And like, he's amazing. He's amazing, especially like he accepted Jesus last year. He got baptized this year and he is on fire. Mm-hmm. I mean, he
is
sometime.
Yes.
But then he's this amazing kid that's sharing visions and dreams with me. And he's teaching me about God's love.
See, I thought you were going to say that first, which is why I was so quick with he is.
No, but he is sometimes. Like he's a little troublemaker.
Right.
He's real hyper.
Yeah.
He's loves to push my buttons on purpose.
Every kid.
But like when I look at him and I really look in his face, like it reminds me of what God wants us to do with him. Like he wants us to ask him to hold us and to look in his eyes and to see the beauty that he put in us and to see all of his grace and all of his love and to get lost in him the same way that I can get lost when my precious baby is letting me hold him.
Yes.
And we just get overwhelmed with that love and that sense. Like I get a sense of purpose. Like I'm like, I cannot believe that you're letting me raise this kid.
Right.
How on earth is this happening?
Yes. It turns from summer to, oh, thank you, God.
Yeah. But like when you look in your kid's face, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine the Lord's face. And I want you to look into his eyes and I want you to see that he sees you.
Yes.
And that he chooses you and that he loves you. And that you were made for a purpose. And it's not just to raise your kids.
Right.
But right now, that's a giant part of your purpose. And it may seem like a crazy, huge wave, but if you dive in and you get low and you commit yourself to practicing that on a daily basis, that there's nothing but beauty on the other side.
Right.
And oh my gosh, if you could see the picture of people duck diving underneath waves, like, oh, it's incredible. I'm a photographer.
Everyone's going to
so-
go Google it now.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah, you definitely need to. But like, okay, so I was listening to Heidi Baker today. She's amazing. Look her up. And one of her taglines that she says all the time is, if you don't quit, you win.
Nice.
And that's so true.
Yes.
If you don't quit,
If you don't quit, you win.
yeah,
Yes.
don't quit, guys.
Quitters never win.
Just don't quit.
Ever.
Duck dive
Ever.
in. Look in your kids' eyes. Stop looking in the mirror. Stop looking at social media. And stop comparing yourself to something that's not real.
Right. I love that you talked about like looking into his eyes, because, you know, we want to be the apple of God's eye. Like, we want to be
Yeah.
special and loved and know, but we can only be the apple of his eye when we are looking at him
Yeah.
and locked in.
Let me tell you, look into your kids' eyes. You can see your reflection
Yes.
in their eyes. And that's how it is with the Lord.
Yes.
Like, find your reflection from him
Right. Not from the mirror.
and reflect him back. Because really, it's like that, you know, that deep
Mhm.
prism where you're
Yes.
looking back and forth. It's like you see him and your eyes and you and his eyes and him and your, and so it goes on forever. But like, just don't quit. Don't quit. Keep going. Get low. Like, put some worship
Persevere.
music on. Like, even if you're resting, like, just rest in him. Because it's not over.
Right.
Like, this day may be a
You
dumpster
woke
fire.
up today. It is not over.
Yeah. But you fed your kid. They're relatively clean.
Yes.
They went to bed. There's a roof over their head.
Hashtag winning.
Yes. Don't quit. You are winning.
Yes.
You're winning. So that's kind of, I mean, that's an abbreviated version of what is happening right now with the Olsen family. But yeah.
That's amazing. That's deep and strong.
Good. I'm glad. 'Cause it didn't feel like that.
So glad. We're going to duck dive in.
We're going to duck dive.
We're going to duck dive into this podcast.
Yeah. We're having shirts made for Africa so that we can sell them for fundraising.
Yes.
And I was sending it all off to the designer, and I was like, it has to say duck dive. Like, so we're putting all these words like King Jesus and all these things inside of, and a wave inside of the shape of Africa, the outline of Africa. I'll show you a picture later. But underneath, like the trip is called Overflow, and underneath the word overflow, which is coming out of the waves, I put duck dive.
Yes.
And he's like, duck dive? Yes, duck dive.
Just do it.
You have
Just
to
do
have
it.
it.
Just put it on
It's
there.
a must have. You have to understand. So when we have the link, I'll post the link. You guys should all buy one. Buy a duck dive Africa shirt.
Send us to Kenya.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway.
I love it.
Well, I feel like that's a good place to end
It is.
episode 2.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for joining us and spending some time with us.
Yeah.
It's like, it matters to us.
It matters so much. And we really want you to send us prayer requests. Like, if there's anything that we can pray for you while we're duck diving in,
Right?
we can pray for you. And we want to. We want this to be a community that,
Stands together.
yeah, we want to come alongside you and hold your arms up. And I'm going to need that too. And so is Kristy.
Yeah.
Next up after this, we're going to have an amazing sister in the
Yes.
motherhood come and talk. That's one of the things I'm really excited about this podcast, is that we're going to invite other
Yes.
awesome moms.
We want to hear from a lot of you.
Yeah, we really do. We want to hear your story. We want to tell your story so that everyone knows, you know, like that's if you've been there, you know, like that somebody else is walking
Yes.
in your shoes. Not your shoes exactly, but shoes very similar.
Unless you get your shoes off of Marketplace.
I don't even know.
And they could be the same shoes.
And we need to
Literally.
land the plane. My husband is behind you,
Right?
just going land the plane. Anyways, y'all, please come subscribe at thesendhelppodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Send Help Podcast. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Yes. We love you guys. We're praying for y'all. Please be praying for us. We need it.
Please. All right. See you next time.
Bye.